I am Yves Meelbergs. In 1990, I flew F-16s in the 350th Squadron in Belgium. We had heard about the wave of UFOs, particularly in the regions of Liège and Eupen.
On the evening of March 30th, 1990, Meelbergs' unit is informed of a string of UFO sightings around the town of Louvain.
We immediately took off in formation, 2 F-16s flying east of Brussels. Our goal was to intercept or come as close as possible to the objects and try to identify it as best we could.
Maintenant, voyageons en direction sud, à une vitesse extraordinaire, libre pour l'investigation, contrôler l'armement.
The speed at which the object was moving, the large variations in altitude and course were particularly unique. In air combat, we're used to seeing objects move very quickly. But in this case, the object's variations were unforeseen, which proved that we were dealing with an object very different from an aircraft.
Perdu contact.
Voilà, ici vous voyez le vecteur de l'objectif 300 degrés, vitesse 999. Vitesse normale? Bon, la vitesse d'un avion normal à cette altitude est l'ordre de 350-400 nœuds. Ça, c'est un horizon.
Under pressure from a hungry press and public, de Brouwer holds a press conference to discuss Meelbergs' flight.
Voilà, ça c'est une vitesse de 1010 nœuds. Donc ça, c'est la vitesse maximale qu'on a enregistrée.
The F-16s registered objects that were flying at a normal speed, but suddenly turning and accelerating to speeds which were much higher than the speed of sound. Now, this cannot be done by any conventional aircraft.
Donc, puis, les accélérations ont passé de 150 à 500 nœuds dans une fraction de seconde.
Unfortunately, only one of the F-16 radar tapes provided sufficient information to analyze, which meant that we couldn't compare the tapes. To exclude electromagnetic interference, which is a reflection of an object, sometimes on the ground, that can go through the atmosphere and bounce back to the F-16 radar.
100% sûr que vraiment il y avait quelque chose. Ça c'est clair.
Due to the failure of the secondary radar recording, government officials cannot verify the pilot's account. But Meelbergs remains convinced.
Personally, I believe there was an object at that location that day. We had ground witnesses, radar stations, and airplanes. 3 different sources watching the same object at the same time in the same place. There was something in the air that night.